to talk about an often overlooked issue among athletes.
Yeah.
Toxicity. I mean, we don't get a lot of young athletes walking in the door, or pro athletes saying, "Hey, I'm feeling toxic." But it really is a barrier to us getting progress with them from a sports performance standpoint. Can
Yes.
you talk a little bit about that and what we can do to help?
Yeah, it's one of the top 3 common priorities amongst athletes in general, from high school to pro athletes. They're all toxic, meaning that their liver's just overburdened. And a big component of it is that these athletes, nobody taught them how to eat. These kids are coming in, having cereal for breakfast, McDonald's for lunch, macaroni and cheese at dinner time. They don't get any real food. And then they're drinking sodas, which burden on the liver. They're drinking caffeine, coffee, which burdens on the liver. So the body is just overly overwhelmed. The liver's overwhelmed with toxicity issues, and that causes us to store body fat. The body stores toxins in fat. That's how it protects it until the liver can catch up and deal with it.
Can we use a specific example of something that they eat or consume a lot of? Like
fast food.
Like, well, what about just a Coke?
Yeah, that's a huge one.
I looked at a Coke bottle the other day. A friend of my son's was carrying it around with him, and in a single serving of Coke, there were 46 grams of fructose.
Yeah, and there's usually, what, 2 or 3 servings in a bottle?
Yeah.
Yeah, so fructose processes in the liver. So when you drink a Coke, it's the liver that's burdened, not the normal pathways of other carbohydrates coming in, other sugars coming in the system. An athlete can process around 30 grams of fructose a day. That would be like 2 pieces of fruit, or maybe 3 pieces of fruit. A non-athlete, they show the numbers at like 17 grams a day is what they can handle. 1 bottle of Coke is like 80 grams of high fructose corn syrup. Burdens the hell out of the liver. Automatically, that person's going to start becoming fat because the liver just can't process it.
So they cannot handle a single serving of Coke.
No,
their liver cannot.
No, so you're automatically building up. So you put that in with fast food, and you have a massive recipe for disaster.
Okay.
So that's big. So one of the things we teach young athletes outside of cleaning up their diet is we give them supplementation aid to help detoxify the liver. You want to see an athlete get lean very quickly, you enhance detoxification pathways on young athletes, and they'll start dropping body fat and putting muscle mass on very quickly. The favorite one we like to use is by Pursuit Nutraceuticals called Ultra Liver Aid. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's packed full of phase 1 and phase 2 conjugates of detoxification. So the body has to transform a fat-soluble toxin to a water-soluble toxin and then help get rid of it. So phase 1 and phase 2 conjugates are needed for this process to happen. A lot of times people talk about just having fruits and vegetables for detox or juice cleanses. That's great. That's packed full of the phase 1 conjugates. You need to have amino acids or protein-based type of things as phase 2 conjugates to help pull it out. So we'll teach our athletes to get real protein in the diet, get fruits and vegetables in the diet, phase 1 and phase 2 conjugates there, and then we'll also use this liver aid to really help the liver process through all these built-up toxins in the system. You can get really far really quickly. A great example are minor league baseball players. They don't get much money each day to eat their food. They're on a bus, they're traveling, $20 a day is what they usually get for food, so it's a lot of fast food. They always come back fatter than they leave because they can't eat high quality foods. First phase, clean up the diet, get their liver healthy, and bang, you see a big result with those young guys right out the gate in the first 4 weeks. And remember, the empowered athlete is the dominating athlete.